Ah, okay. So we are back. Good, good. As I said, ladies and gentlemen, again, apologies for the troubles we've had in the stream. As a little update, I had to do a full system restart, and that caused a lot of troubles for my own work and, of course, for YouTube itself. But without further ado, we have been on it for like 15 minutes now, which is enough of system errors in my opinion. And now I want to introduce to you a good friend of mine who has been with me for quite a long time here on YouTube, and I really, really hope that the audio is going to work with us here. So, chat, you'll have to tell me if you hear him, yes or no. Now, without further ado, TJ, please come into the office and say hello.
No, he said I can go in now. Listen, I know you're just doing your job. Can I go in? Is that okay?
Let him in.
Thank you. Greetings, Doctor. How are you today?
Hello, TJ. Hello and welcome back to my office. As you see, I have done a bit of redecorating.
Yeah, I really like the, looks like that's, you got a different chair, different lamp.
Different everything, really.
Oh, okay. I really admire your excellent decor here. The feng shui here in the office is
right.
Fantastic. While still maintaining just the proper amount of spook, and also, you know, the flesh on the floor behind your desk is a nice touch.
I know, right? It's some people I really, really appreciate the opinion of, so I decided to have them stick around.
Stick around. Get it?
Well, you could also say stitch around.
Ah. the single ha. Yeah, I do the same thing anytime, you know, the whole thing with like the
whole shebang.
Okay, apparently my voice is quiet compared to Doc's, so
wait, let me see if I can pull it a little bit up from my end.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have everything so maxed on my end. If I even remotely,
it should be better now.
Is that better, madam? Can you hear me?
Can you hear him, madam?
A communal towel, R.I.P.
Ah, right. So we use the towel to go around, but we've ditched that. We're using sandpaper now for everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Listen, as one of the fine, I'm not a caretaker here at the asylum, but I am a part of the janitorial team under the great Dr. Hugo Strange, and I can say that having to replace the sandpaper rolls instead of the communal towel is a little better, because the communal towel was definitely, I mean, there was a lot going on there, but the sandpaper is definitely, my hands are a little scuffed up, but
that's a you problem, really. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you know, I'm just happy to be here, Doc.
You better be.
Oh, I'm always happy to be here. Genuinely, though, all silly joking and stuff aside, I'm very happy to be here, and I've been looking forward to coming on again with you, because the last time I was on was a lot of fun, and yeah, I always try to catch the live streams, and
it's always the consensus I get. Apparently, I'm fun to be around. I never try to, but apparently I am.
What a concept!
I know.
You're a fun guy, T. Well, there's
physically, it physically hurts me when you say that. Oof.
Well, you know, because there's multiple people that you can, when you're talking with, when you're on the Guests of Torment, there's a few different people that could show up. You of course have DrTorment, who, that's the full name. That's a scary dude. You have Dr. T, which in my opinion is a little more of the lighthearted DrTorment. Then you have T.
Are you implying that I have schizophrenia? Because we do not.
No, not even remotely. Yeah, I know, and also, yeah, Madam and Jinxie have the right idea. When you say fun guy, they mean more like fun guy. Like,
yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that's
I
more.
I grow on decomposing bodies. Yes.
Yes, you grow in decomposing bodies. That's exactly what I was thinking. Oh, there's an ad. But yeah, for me, it's like when I'm not going to look at that because it's going to distract me. I'm very squirrel, ADHD and so forth. But for me, as someone who has to clean up around here, every time I find a decomposing body that you're just growing in, I'm always like, man, it's happened again.
Look, man, I don't decide where the bodies drop, alright? They decide to walk off on their own in the asylum. When that happens, it's really out of my hands. I give them clear instructions not to. When I can. When I feel. Anyways, they shouldn't be wandering around.
I mean, that's what I personally think as well, but, I'm not going to tell them what to do. And anytime I try to talk to them, they're always like, and I'm like, all right, man, do your thing.
Isha makes a good point in the chat, by the way. He grew up with calcium because he is skeleton. Or, as they say it in French, skeleton. The French bashing has begun. We are not in for 5 minutes. But I'm going to have a little look in the chat, see who has said hi or who else is here. I see Dreadful Anecdotes, Cindy Cleveland, and Marty. Hello. Infinite Skyosis, I see, came with Ouija boards wearing corpses. Alrighty, fun times. Not sure if he's still watching or not, or they, excuse me. But, hey man, if you're down to play, by all means, we're the right people for it. And of course, our lovely moderator, Jinxie. Hello.
Everyone's favorite Canadian. I am everyone's third favorite Canadian.
I'm not going to argue with that. That's basically what it is. And of course, Madame Strangeways.
Yes. The great and powerful Madame Strangeways. Taking time out of her busy day of providing people with terrifying
stories.
Yet comforting stories. And Jinxie, of course, taking time out of her busy days of
being Canadian.
Whatever. Being Canadian. Being Canadian. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, that's sounds about right. Hello, everybody who I missed to say hi to. Jinxie and Cindy and Isha and Madam and Cindy and everybody else. Good to see everybody.
So, TJ, I did want to ask you. So, the tapes of Trepidation. It's something that's been going on now for how long would you say now?
That is an excellent question. So I have been doing taped Trepidation, which is, for those who may not be familiar, is my horror narration podcast. I have been doing that now I am in my 5th month as we speak.
5th month.
5th month. And I am going to be, this week is episode 29. But when I launched, I had 5 episodes the first week that I launched. So my episode count to weeks is a little off. But yeah. It's been a wonderful, so much fun of a journey. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. And it has been a blast. I can't, like, I've been doing, I loathe using this term, but I've been a content creator for going on, well, basically 9 years at this point, with different types of content.
Wait, I knew you were I knew you were busy, like, before Tapes Trepidations, with the Hodder show and other projects, but 9 years, really? I don't think you ever told me the exact number.
Yeah, so, dude, that's what's funny is I've had a whole other life in the podcast world outside of, like, everyone who I say my core fan base. You guys can't see me doing quotations because I don't like using words like that. My friends who are, the people on the Discord and stuff, the people
I do know some of them, yeah.
Yeah, there's like a whole other life I had before that group, and like before the whole Grey Rooms thing and all that. Like, there's this whole other life I've had with running a podcast network. I had 3 podcasts going at once, and I was producing 2. Like, I've had this whole other thing going. So tapes is very much, it was something I flirted with doing for a long time. I fell in love with this medium, and I really strategized how I was going to do it. If and when I got into doing this, it's like, okay, I want to have the perfect plan. I want to make sure it's only fun and that it's exactly what I want it to be.
Right.
And hopefully, if I love doing this and I enjoy it and it's content that I'm proud of and that I think is cool, hopefully that will, reciprocate with other people. And, it's only been 5 months, but like I think I'm having more fun now creating content than I have in a very long time. And as far as the creative fulfillment that I get from doing tapes, it's very much, it's very different from everything I've done. Like obviously I did my Hodder show, which is my music and interview podcast, which you are familiar with. You've been on a couple times.
I've been on 2 times, yes.
Yes.
Right?
And right. Yes, 2 times. Yep. And I did a gaming podcast for about a year and a bit with a co-host. I did a drinking beer review podcast for a while. I was the producer of another
I'm sorry.
narration podcast.
I'm sorry. I have to interject here. Beer review.
Yeah, craft beer. I use that term loosely. It was mostly just us getting, well...
I'm just intrigued because that's the first time you ever mentioned it, I think.
Yeah, Mikes and Beers, it's called. It's still, all my other stuff is all still up there. Like, you can go find it. It's interesting to go back, especially my gaming podcast, 2 Guys in a Game, it's called.
2 Guys in a Game. Oh, I get the reference. Okay.
It's literally, we needed a name, and, well, what are you guys going to do? We're going to talk about games. Okay, you're 2 guys, right? Yeah, okay. So 2 Guys in a Game.
The imagery is not healthy for me.
Yeah, it's not what you think it is, for sure.
It's horror. It's its own horror.
It's its own type of horror. But yeah, if you told me this was all, oh my gosh, this was, let me think, late 2017 into 2018, give or take, was the time frame when I was doing, like, I was running a podcast network. We had sponsors and shit, and I was doing all this crazy stuff.
Oh,
and then I was producing another horror narration podcast that's very different from what I do, and was working on like 2 other projects. And so when I say I've had a history in this, like, and let me be very clear, nothing was really successful, quote unquote, in the sense of we didn't have millions of downloads or anything, but like, like we had sponsors and I made money from it and stuff. So like, I do have a little experience in it. So when I say I'm doing,
I'd say that's quite a lot of experience, but all right, if you say little, go ahead and be humble, I suppose.
Yeah. So when I say I'm just interested in having fun at this point in my podcast journey, like, man, I just want to have fun. I just want to do things that make me happy. And this makes me unbelievably happy. And just was it 2 nights ago, I finished the editing for what's going to be this week's episode. And I am more excited for this episode than I have been in a few weeks. Like,
right, you did mention that yesterday to me in a voice message. Like, you were so excited that I was getting excited.
Yeah. I'm like, you have no idea. Like, it was going to be such an odd story to pull off. And you guys, when you hear it, you'll know what I'm saying when it's kind of an odd story to pull off. And I think I did it.
So to everyone that hasn't done it yet, go ahead and visit Tapes of Trepidation and start subscribing so you can get in on this story that he is a little bit teasing at this point.
Yeah, it's a short one. It's
Link in the
probably
description.
Going to be my shortest. Yeah, it's probably going to be my shortest episode to date, I think. But yeah, it needs to be. Usually, if I have short stories that are like I'm talking like under 10 minutes for me is what I consider short. Usually,
Sure.
if it's going to be under 10 minutes, the full episode runtime, I try to put 2 stories together so it's over that. This story, I'm like, nah, it needs to be on its own. It will overshadow any other story that I have. So it's yeah, it's going to be good. When I do things from a production standpoint that really excite me, and I do a read, and every time I'm done a read, I'm always like, oh, that sucked. Like I'm very hard on myself, obviously. So then when I go back and listen to something, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm really happy with this. That's what really gets me excited. That's what I'm loving so much about doing this and getting to explore all these amazing stories that all these wonderful authors are writing. And it's been cool. The support has been amazing. Obviously you're one of those people who've been super supportive from day one, and obviously you know how much I appreciate it. I'm not going to sit here and
Define supportive. I've been actually trying to give you a depression. How is this working?
Well, some people would say that through
I could almost hear the tears in your voice.
Oh goodness, but yeah, no, it has been amazing, and yeah, it's been awesome. I can sit here for another hour and a half and talk about tapes and the whole thing, but yeah, 6 months will be the 13th, I think. 13th of August will be my 6-month mark. So,
God damn.
Yeah, got something cool planned for.
Wait, how many of August you said?
The 13th
of August would be a 6 months. August
Yes.
13th.
That is correct.
You are aware we are the 28th of August.
Sorry, not August, September. Sorry, September. My bad.
I was already looking at the calendar like, wait, am I in the wrong week?
Yeah, it's Friday the 13th this year. Is going to be that's the date of my 6 month.
Oh,
and
well planned.
I'm excited. Yeah, that was totally by accident. I'll be honest with you.
Nice.
But yeah, it's kind of cool that that's going to be the 31st episode. Which me being weird, I was like, man, I really wish it could be the 30th episode, Friday the 13th. I'm just weird with stuff like that. But I'm like, I'm not skipping a week just so that I can line up.
No, of course not. Of course you're not.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's been amazing, and I know there's some people in the chat who have been really supportive, and I appreciate that. And yeah, it's been amazing. I can't. This whole community and everything is so supportive, and there's some really cool people. And yeah, it's been awesome. So just looking at the chat here.
Yeah, Madam Strangeways.
I feel like I've been talking. Yeah, I feel like I've been talking for like 20 minutes, guys. I apologize. You asked me a really simple question, and you know me. I wax poetically once in a while.
I mean, I did want to ask about the state of your podcast, and you answered that and more. So, yeah, by all means.
Cool. Stay tuned. Lots more fun stuff to come. Heading into the 30s now, which this is like the most crucial point for our podcast. That episode 30 to like 50 is like, that's when most podcasts go to die. So
that's a bleak picture you paint.
Yeah. Once you get, there's like in the industry, there's very much like, once you get past like, I think it's episode like 7, that's like the first milestone. You're already doing better than like, I think it's like, you're already in like the top 3% of podcasts in the world. Yeah. Because not 3%, sorry. Like I think it's like 30%. Because most podcasts don't make it past 7 episodes. Like it's very common.
To be fair, well, it's not like my content is specifically podcast orientated, I suppose. But I do have like over 30 episodes now on the Spotify podcast.
Yes, you do.
I think.
But you're
kind
of cheating, but that's beside the point.
It's literally what you told me to do.
I know. I just worked away at you for like a solid year. Like, yeah, man, you should. And that was just selfishly, by the way.
No, of course,
I just wanted to
It's
be
not
able to
like
listen.
anyone else was like constantly begging me to make a content and podcast form. Jinxie. I mean,
Dun, dun.
TJ.
I mean, both came.
I mean, half everybody on my server. Jesus. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's like, I'm a YouTuber, I'm not a podcaster, leave me alone. But now everybody's got what they wanted, so there, I bent over.
Now you can be both.
Finish that.
Yes, just looking back in the chat here, Mr. Nixar01.
Hello, Mr. Nexai. Yes, I wanted to say hello to him, but we went into our little Tapes of Trepidation tantrum there. Hello and welcome to the stream, Nexa. I know who you are.
Sorry, I'm just like taking over and just like responding to everybody.
No, don't. That's something you and Madam Strangeways have in common, by the way.
Yeah.
In a good way.
I was not even born when guys start podcast. I mean, it was 2016. You were born.
You were around. You were around in 2016.
Yeah, right.
You're not.
My math isn't that off. Listen, I can't count past 10 on a good day, but like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Was I quote unquote creating content before you were born? Absolutely, but that's neither here nor there. That's a whole other conversation for another time.
I'm curious now, but okay.
Just music and yeah, it's not even really worth getting into. Edgar Allan Poe is a content creator. P.T. Burnham. Yes, thank you, madam. Yeah.
I'm a little confused.
You're confused?
I'm a little confused, but it's something that Isha says towards the end, but continue what you were saying about Madam Strangeways there.
Yeah, she said, 31 is 13 backwards, so it's perfect. And then Jinxie said,
is it?
Always needing to,
Always need to have that Canadian last word.
Yeah. But 31 is opposite of 13. Madam, are we using the same crystal ball? Yeah,
possibly not. I have mine from Isengard Industries. I highly recommend getting a crystal ball from there.
I don't personally believe in them. I just like to scream into the void to cause things to happen.
The proprietor, Saruman the White, very lovely chap. Very industrious too, but...
That's what I've heard.
But yeah, he's a very lovely chap. He has like honeyed words. I love that.
Honeyed words.
Yes. That's a direct quote from the books, by the way. Then Isha says, since you talked about Temu, I only have that in my recommendations, even YouTube ads. Help, guys. When did we talk about Temu? That's like the discount version of Alibaba, right?
That's like Wish. That's like Wish for Wish.
That's
the Wish version of Wish. Ooh.
That's the Wish version of Wish. Oh god, that's bad.
And that's terrible stuff. That is
like yeah. Wish sometimes can provide. I can actually attest to that. Sometimes
so can Temu,
but for little things, right? If you're gonna do not buy office chairs from Temu or Wish. Never.
Anything
god.
That has to support your
Just go to Amazon, pay the $100 at the minimum, and you have a decent damn chair there. What the face? Yeah, I have some experiences that became very personal. Cussed a little. It happens.
No, really? I can't imagine that's...
Madam Strangeway, I'm still making payments.
I can't imagine that's what happens. Listen, as someone who has sat down on a chair before and had it just literally fall apart.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm alluding to. I was pissed.
Fell apart. I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. All right, well, I got a T-shirt from which it's cursed. Oh, very good.
We also forgotten something, I think, or yes. So here's the thing: when you were talking about being a content creator, Madam Strangeways at some point said, "Think of it this way: P.T. Bamham was a content creator, and Edgar Allan Poe was a content creator. So don't be glum, chump. You'll be good at what you do eventually."
Yay!
Yay!
I'm hoping. My goal is, by the time I'm like 5 years into doing tapes, because that's how serious I am about this.
Oh, okay.
I want to be decent. That's my goal.
Are you saying you're
5
not
years in,
decent
I
now?
wanna be-
You're superb, man. Jesus, I've
Oh, I
listened
think
to I've listened to your episodes. You're already superb. Why the fuck would you be
I
decent?
appreciate that. Listen, here's my whole thing. Is I'm
I
very
cussed
much
again. God damn it.
I have this weird, very unrealistic thing that I need to happen to justify me doing this. As far as like, there's somebody who I need validation from one day, and it could definitely happen one day. It's not a far-fetched thing, but as far as is this person going to take the time, I don't know. But if this person, who I'm not going to name or anything, because just like that's weird, I'm not going to do that. But
teacher,
there's
I
one in
don't
particular
have so much.
person-
I only have so much time in my day.
I know. If that person says that I'm I'm okay, I'm good, then literally I'm good. Like I wouldn't give a crap who would say otherwise. I'd be like, this person said I'm decent. Like that is not like, oh my god, you're the best narrator in the world. Just literally, hey, you've got a good show there. You've got a good, you got a good thing.
Hey man, you're okay.
Hey man, you could literally be like, hey, you're okay. Like you're pretty good at this. I'd be like,
that's gonna be a happy squeak.
Yeah, I can't say madam because then it's gonna be weird, and yeah, no, I just let me just say it's my favorite horror narrator.
Ah,
so, not that hard to figure out if you know me. And yeah, it's my favorite podcast, favorite horror narrator.
Oh wait, I always wanted to do this with the audience. Hold on. Shut up. Madam, this one is for you.
I know something you don't know.
Ah, finally,
What
my age-old quest has been fulfilled.
What did you just do?
Wait, you didn't hear?
No, I didn't hear what it was. All I heard was. Did you press a?
No, I did I did the voice filter thing with that I sound radio-y, and I basically did did the sing-songy like Alistair thing, like I know something you don't know.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about when I say that. But yeah, I don't feel comfortable naming.
Makes me happy.
It's one thing if I say it like in a recorded live thing. It's like, because I don't ever want someone to be like, hey, so and so, this person says they need validation from you so that they can like feel good about it. That's just weird. I don't want to do it.
A little bit, yeah.
It's a little weird. Yeah.
You're gonna talk to that person, gonna be like, so I've seen that live stream, by the way. Oh.
Yeah. And like, I mean, listen, I am also kind of saying this tongue in cheek. Like, I don't need validation from that person actually, but that would be like I got validation with my interviewing with my other podcasts from someone who I really, really respected. And I was like, you know what, from this day forward, anyone who ever talks crap about me, I could care less what you say, and normally I care so much. I just and yeah, but anyway, I don't know why I'm getting into all this, but
no, it's understandable. I mean, it's good to have someone to look out for. Well, how to say this? I've forgotten my train of thought. That happens a lot. Five thoughts, one mouth. I hate this so much.
5 thoughts, 1 mouth. Oh god.
Don't make this a thing on Discord.
I wasn't going to.
Mm-hmm. No, it was not. I'm talking to the chat.
Oh well,
Don't make this a thing on Discord. Oh god, like two guys, one game.
2 guys. It's 2 guys and a game.
What?
Thank you very much.
We all know what the reference is there. All right.
I didn't even come up with the name. Actually, our producer did.
That is not helping.
With your host, Cazador Jones and Hodder, because I don't have an avatar name. Hodder, because I didn't want to be TJ for it. Because listen, there was multiple different versions of TJ. You have TJ Hodder, you have TJ, and then you had Hodder from 2 Guys in a Game, who was basically me with the volume turned up.
Fair enough.
And yeah, my role was to basically try and rein in my co-host, who was just insane all the time. Yeah, I look back on that, insane in a good way. I look back on that time very, very fondly. And that's how much fun I'm having right now with tapes, I would say, and like interacting with you and interacting with the community and everything, like it's probably about the same amount of, as far as like the joy I'm having just from creating content again in this way, is probably around that time period where I didn't realize how much fun I was having because I was so busy. That's my one advice I always say to people is like, it's okay to treat something as a business and be busy with it and take it seriously, but like, God, always stop to smell the roses, so to speak, and appreciate it while you're in it, because I didn't. During that time period, I was very like, no, man, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, we gotta worry about this, we gotta worry about that. And yeah, now I look back and I'm like, man,
Man.
yeah, man,
Oh, man.
oh man. And listen, everyone in the chat who's like, oh, I'll DM you and tell you, listen. Let's just say this person is very creepy. Moving on. So, Doctor.
The person is very creepy indeed.
Yeah. So,
I was still having my doubts there a little bit, but you kind of confirmed it for me there, so thank you for that.
Come on. This is one person in the world who it could be. And I had someone ask me the other day, they're like, hey, you're Canadian, right? I said, yeah. Oh, so you must love David Cummings from the No Sleep podcast. I'm like, yes, absolutely. David Cummings is amazing. He's the godfather of horror podcasts, really, as far as I'm concerned, really. As far as making them very popular and mainstream. Maybe not the godfather of it, but as far as the Canadian godfather of horror podcasting. But he's not my, like, I didn't get into the No Sleep podcast till pretty recently. So everyone's always like, oh, you must really love David Cummings. I'm like, yes, he's amazing. Like he's awesome, but he's not my guy. He's not my tippy top.
To be fair, I haven't listened to the No Sleep podcast in a while now.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like there's a reason.
I just remembered this. Like I haven't listened to them in thinking now 3-4 months, something like that. Oh yeah, jeez, oh my god, I was busy.
There's a lot of fantastic narrators on that podcast.
Definitely.
There's tons of them. Mike Delgadio is one of my favorites. Shouts to Booth Junkies on YouTube, which is a fantastic resource for all voiceover people. Yeah, but anyway, Doctor, I feel like I've talked way too much. So,
have you?
What's? Yeah, I know, right? What's going on with the? You had some updates for your channel. I think you wanted to talk about as far as some cool things coming up and whatnot. And
well, it's more an update of as in what has happened very recently and what the plan is moving forward, basically. So for anyone that has just tuned in and isn't really aware of what has happened, basically what I had to do in the week is a full system reset, and that deleted a bunch of projects. 2 of them were already completed, they just had to be rendered, and 3 other projects that were still halfway in the making-ish. Kitty cat, that is my water, stay away from it. I'm trying to explain something for the channel, please, don't cause chaos. I love you, but don't cause chaos now. Where was I? What did I just say? My water. Now, as I said, so I had a full system reset done. A lot of things were deleted. And basically the emergency plan right now for September, which is coming right now, will be only gothic and dark poetry content for now. Why? Because as a good friend who I will not mention advised me, it is smart right now, instead of doing anything complicated, to do like short videos and short content. Television just sprang on its own. That's not creepy at all. So basically there will be only, in September there will be only dark and gothic poetry featuring on the channel. Just enough so I still have a bit of time for larger projects, such as the big project coming in October, which is still under wraps, but there will be a teaser coming for that very, very soon.
Ooh, the big project.
The big project. A project that will kickstart October and hopefully we'll be providing content for the entire year. So the idea is, in October, if everything goes well, the idea is to place a video twice a week for the first 9 parts of this particular story. But after, I think, after December, we will still be giving videos once or twice a month on this particular story itself. So that by the time that we come to the end, it's October again. Ta-da! Full year of content on that one.
Well, I'm excited.
Well,
whoever gave you that advice, you know,
to be fair, I got that advice basically on a whim. It's basically one of my personalities in my head that started saying, "Hey, by the way, we've just seen this movie on the Discord. Perhaps we can do the actual thing ourselves as well." And so far, I've had amazing help from the likes of Dreadful Anecdotes, for example. He has been helping me amazingly in the background, as well as finding talented voice actors such as Tales from the Vox, who will be featured in it, and several others, but I'm going to keep those secrets still.
Hey guys, this is just me talking to the chat here.
You will shut up.
What the secret project is? Because I'll tell you.
You will shut up.
There's a movie he watched. I know.
You will shut up, or you will be using your hand instead of the sandpaper.
Oh, gee, that actually probably be more pleasant if we're being honest.
Not after I'm done with it.
It's My Little Pony Island Adventure. Cancel the whole project.
I've got nothing. I've got nothing.
I don't even know if that's a movie.
It's like My Little Pony. All right, and jeez.
You think I was being serious? Come on. No, that's cool though. I'm excited, man. I know how excited you are for this project, and it's gonna be stellar. Absolutely stellar. There's a lot of stuff coming up on.
Well, that entirely depends if that. At this point, I hate to say it like this, but at this point, it heavily depends on the voice actors we currently have. So there are still some roles open, so to anyone watching, if you feel called for, by all means, let me know. Otherwise, it really depends on the voice actors when they deliver their lines. Like, I'm not someone that likes it when people start giving in their lines just in front of the deadline.
So like me.
I don't know what else to say. So let's say if I said the deadline was on, I don't know, the 29th of September, right? And people start giving their voice lines at the 28th, and only then, that is like, alright, I could have already worked on the project before that by then.
Yeah.
And that's something I do not like. Now, what were you snickering about? Oh.
No, I was snickering because you said, I don't like when people hand in their lines like literally right before the deadline. And I was like, oh, you mean like me?
I mean, I wasn't pointing fingers. I wasn't pointing fingers, but if you feel called out, I mean, that's on you, man.
No, I told you ahead of time, hey, I'm going to be handing them in like 2, and I still got them. I think the deadline was the 13th, not for this project, for something else, guys. But I think it was like the 13th, you said. I think I got them to you.
You got them on time, yeah, sure, because now I have a new tactic. I basically put the deadlines far ahead than I actually need them.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
And now suddenly I get my lines on time before I actually start editing. So you could say I am a dove Sidious on this one.
Yeah, as someone who has waited for lines for months, and I'm talking months from people, it can suck when you're like, hey, I kind of want to work on this, but like I can't. Yeah, I tried to be a little, and that's also my fault, because I'm like, oh, just get them to me when you can. It's like, nah, you gotta say, Whoa, sorry about that, guys. I smacked my pop filter.
Good,
You
well
got
done.
to you got to stick deadlines. That's very important.
Yeah, and by all means, the voice actors currently involved, amazing. They are talented. I can already say that I have received the first lines for the first part, so I can basically already start producing the videos if I wanted to, but I also want the other lines from other people. So I can basically start like the first stages of the other videos. But that said, their roles are substantial, and I do not expect them to have it done in like 1, 2, 3 like I used to work with you. I still fondly remember at one point that I had to do which stories were it again? I did like 2 auditions. I did 2 in one morning. Basically, what happened? I was narrating for 2 stories.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. For me?
Yes. Ah, wait. The one with the door to everything,
Yes.
and the initial Dr. Jones lines. The ones that I recently sent you. Again,
Yes.
basically
Yes.
the same ones as those, but I did those 2 in the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Which was already substantial. My god, I was energetic.
Yeah. Well, yeah, especially that was like me Monday. I recorded like 2 hours of content, and I was like, wow, that's rare for me.
Oh wow, 2 hours. Must be amazing.
Yeah, wow. Must be not 2 hours of one story, but yeah, multiple little things. But yeah, no, that's and I'm excited. Like the one thing where like there's 2 projects we're kind of collaborating on, and it's exciting because the one is me doing just production, which is cool because I've never really done that before.
Right.
You know, and I'm well, I should say continuing work on it because technically I had it almost done before, but we had to redo some stuff. No big deal.
Mainly,
So I'm
I
excited
had
to get
to.
back at. Well, I
mainly
wasn't.
had to redo some stuff.
Someone in this chat had to redo some lines, and I already said that I wasn't featured in it. So take that how you will. But I'm very excited. It's a fun story, and then the other one, I don't know how much you want to talk about it. It's not going to be out for a little while now, which I know that. But either way, I'm excited for it.
Oh yes.
Something coming up, featuring your boy on Dr. Torment's channel. Very excited, honored, terrified, all the emotions. I just want to do well so badly.
I'll do fine.
Yay.
But
Tell me I did a good job.
you did a good you did an okay job.
Yay.
You did all
I'll
right.
take okay.
You did fine.
I'll take all right. You did fine. I could have done a bit of myself. You did fine.
Applause for yourself. Self 5.
Self high five. But
No, I did start a Q&A somewhere, so let's see if anyone has any questions. So by the way, chat, a little while ago earlier, I did put up a Q&A. So if you do have any questions for myself or TJ here, by all means, do ask them via the Q&A pinned in the comments.
Yes, ask them. Hey, Doc. TJ from Peterborough, Ontario has a question.
Ah, I wonder.
Wait, hang on. Let me do this officially. Hey, Doc.
Are you really?
I really am. That's how I do
God,
things.
Fine, I'll pull up the Q&A screen. Let's see.
Let's see here. Go to the question. Ask something. Enter the chat. I think I did it right.
Yeah, you
I don't
did.
really know. Yay.
Hey, Doc, who's your favorite Canadian? Robert Chabotsky.
Who the hell is that?
Robin Chabotsky. How I Met Your Mother.
If I could do the cricket sound effect right now, I would.
You have never seen How I Met Your Mother?
I no, I know who you're talking about, but I once you said How I Met Your Mother, I was like, oh yeah, Robin's like the main chick, right? That's who she is.
One of the
I
main
never
chicks.
really, I never
But
watched
then
it.
again, I just remembered that Barney Stinson is also part Canadian. Does that count?
Sure.
All right. Barney Stinson then.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
There you go. That's my favorite Canadian. Second
you
place
go.
comes Robin Chabatsky.
Second place is Robin. Third place is
Third place is gonna be Jinxie.
checks out. Fourth place, David Cummings.
Yeah, I was about to say Mr. Cummings, but that sounded weird. It's a very unfortunate name.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Stop.
I mean, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's like little shenanigans, okay? It's what makes this streams good, fun.
Little shenanigans.
Yeah. Isha has to leave. All right. Au revoir, mademoiselle. Bonsoir.
Bye, madam. Madam also has to leave.
Madam
Dreadful
also
is
has to
back,
leave.
though. So we lost 2, but gained back Dreadful. So that's that. Yeah,
That's a good trade-off.
that's the decent trade-off. I think so.
You have a good
Bye,
day there,
everybody.
madam. Take care of your spectral energies.
Yes.
And Dreadful woke up from his slumber. Hello, Dreadful.
Have risen. He hath risen.
He hath risen indeed. Speaking of risen, it is still a tradition in my house that the guest starts off a reading if they have one prepared.
Yes. So I did things a little differently this time around, folks. As the last time I was here, I had like 5 stories like fully prepared. So as we've been talking, I've been just looking for stories. One of which is an original story that I think I'm going to save for last because I might blow my voice out doing it. So I'm going to save that for last. And then I have one random creepypasta poem, so to speak.
Oh.
And then I have a fun little. It's a bit short, but I think it's fun. So I don't know what to start with. I'm trying to.
Let's see. Yes,
gonna do a
Dreadful. We are doing very fine. We were just catching up on Tapes of Trepidation and the state of my own channel.
Yes, Dreadful. Hope all is well with you.
And yes, that took a whole hour because TJ had 40 minutes of talking to do.
Yeah, I talked for a long time, and I'm really. Which
Nah,
I
it's
mean,
fine,
listen.
man. I mean, I
would you rather
wouldn't have asked otherwise. Please.
Yeah. What would you rather do? Your guests just sit there and stare at you? Or?
Oh, that would be weird.
I told
just
you,
creepy.
you're not going to get short answers from me. I'm going to talk until you tell me to shut up.
I mean,
there's no dead air with me. It's not going to happen.
I mean that is fair. Fair enough, I suppose.
Oh, it's Dreadful here. Ha ha! Kill me.
because it's in his name.
That's his name. He said it.
He
Like
said
anytime
the
I say
thing.
trepidation,
Mm.
anytime I say trepidation, anytime in my daily life now, which is very rare, mind you, but
I'm
once
pretty
in a
sure.
while.
I'm pretty sure I used it twice in some of my descriptions. I don't know why.
Yes. I think I said it in a story not that long ago.
Yeah, you did.
And
Yeah, you did.
I
It's
almost-
like pointing at.
I almost put in a little thing, like it's like trepidation, and it was like ding 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 ding. But I was like, no, this is
like-
not a
It's like, oh, right, my own podcast has that in it.
thing. I used trepidation the other. Me, Sam, and I, my lovely beautiful wife, were out looking at some Halloween decor, which for us is just year-round decor.
Oh god.
And we're looking, and I said something about. She said something like how she wasn't sure of something, whatever, and I was like, there's a wrestler called Macho Man Randy Savage, back in the day. May he rest in peace. Macho Man, yeah.
Oh, that
And-
I know him.
That's where I actually, truth be told, that's where I first heard the word trepidation. There's a promo. Yeah, trepidation is the word of the day. Yeah. And he talks about how his opponent was feeling
I got
trepidation towards.
I got absolutely nothing on that.
You didn't
Like
hear it?
I'm not that familiar with the wrestling game myself,
Oh,
like
well,
you
that's
are,
a really-
because you are, you know, I know this.
Oh yeah, that's my whole. When I said I had a whole other life outside of this, oh yeah, I'm a big wrestling nerd, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, he talks about you know, the old trepidation is the word of the day. That's what you're feeling. That's what you're feeling. Looking at the macho man. Randy
Is that the same?
Savage.
Is that the same guy South Park made an episode about?
Kind of. Yeah. I can't tell you how excited I am to be a woman. Like, yeah.
Oh lord. Dreadful anecdotes. I'm the tower of power, too sweet to be sour. I'm funky like a monkey. Sky's the limit and space is the place. Why is this sounding familiar?
I'll tell you, baby, I'm the tower of power. That's no.
Oh,
My man's just quoting old wrestling.
yeah,
I
that's,
can't-
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
the tower of power, too sweet to be sour. Actually, no, I think that was Dusty. I think I'm mistaking. Okay, so Dreadful, you and I got to have a conversation clearly.
Oh, clearly.
You know you're wrestling.
Teacher, you just have to be with us when me and Dreadful are in a voice chat again.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna join because like a day ago I didn't have a voice at all, so like I couldn't
But
even.
that's a you problem. That's not an us.
Problem.
That's not an us
Oh,
problem.
brother. Oh, brother, we'll talk old wrestling. Don't you worry about that.
Ooh.
But yeah,
Old wrestling, isn't that like hugging each other half naked?
That's wrestling in general. Listen, wrestling is both one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and I love it, but also it's without a doubt the most homoerotic thing I've ever seen too. But that's another story for another time.
You said it, man. You said it.
It's what it is. Totally fine. It's men in underwear touching each other. It's totally fine. It's not even that big, sweaty, meaty men just
Beautiful.
fondling. Fine. It's totally fine. I love it.
TJ, would it be alright if we proceeded with the live reading after our break?
Yes. Yeah. Whatever you want to do, buddy. I'll be ready to go when we come back.
Because we
Sorry, I
have.
keep talking.
Oh, yeah, don't worry. I'll reprimand you for that another time. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be taking our. Oh, hold on. Dreadful said something. If Dr. Torment would have been a WWF character, he would be Papa Shango, based on the skeletal look alone. I am not familiar with these names.
Oh, we'll talk after. We'll talk after about it.
All right. keep it in mind for after the break. So that said,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, me and TJ are going to withdraw to the private office, have our drinks refilled, and we will be joining you back in somewhere around 5-ish minutes. That sounds fair. Yes, that sounds fair. So I'm gonna put that in the chat, and we'll see you in a bit. And let's pray to the technology gods and the outer gods that the stream will not crash when I put in the intermission screen, like other times. So if that happens, I'll just make another stream part 2 very, very quickly, and we'll see you there. If not, we'll see you back here. Yay! Something to look forward to. Dreadful is being very active in the chat right now. So also, TJ, before we go, you may go ahead and say that in the appropriate voice.
The best there is, past, present, and future. The Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah.
You added the Macho Man part.
Oh
God.
The Macho Man.
Fair
Read
enough.
the boots, bitch.
Oh,
You never said that on television.
This is so stupid. This is so stupid.
We'll see you guys in a little bit.
All right, we'll see you guys in a little bit. See you soon. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. With me still is TJ Hodder from the Tapes of Trepidation. TJ, get the hell back into the office already.
Listen, we've already been through this. He said I can come in. Listen, I'm not someone who's going to yell at someone for doing their job, okay? But the doc is literally calling me right now. Can you just let me in?
Could you come in?
Okay. Thank you. Hey, Doc, what's up? Good to see you.
Yeah, I do have to apologize for the attendant. He's a rather new child of the void. Still needs to be integrated and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know how things happen when you're pulling in new souls from the void. I understand. It's
so tiresome, really.
Yeah, it's okay.
So for the people that have just tuned in, I'm back. Welcome back to the stream, and we are happy to still be here with you. As always, if you are a writer yourself or you want to support the channel, look no further than the description in the video itself, and you'll find nice little ways to either support the channel or submit a story yourself, which I will be happy to narrate on it. And you will also find a nifty little link to TJ's channel, the Tapes of Trepidation, whose main forte, I'd say, is podcasting. So I definitely say to also check out all of his content and Spotify. You really have to give me a Spotify link one of these days so I can put it downstairs too.
Well, I mean, if you have the Linktree, right? Or
did I put in the link?
I don't know.
I think I only linked to YouTube. I do not have the Linktree.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. If you give it to me, give it to me in the DM. I'll just put it in. I'll just put it right downstairs.
Now. Yeah, because that's kind of the easiest. That's the easiest thing to do because that goes to everywhere.
Kitty cat, I'm warning you.
DM you on the old.
On the old Discord.
The old Discordian.
That's
yes. New. Yes. Yeah, dreadful. I don't wear shoes when I'm entering the Asylum Tormentorum.
I did want to say what those meat sandals were that you came in with, but yeah, all right. That's one answer. That's one question answered, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, Jinxie asked something in the Q&A for you.
Ooh. I can't see the Q.
Jinxie says, "Hi TJ, do you prefer poutine or maple syrup? Or maple syrup poutine?"
Ooh. I'm glad you can see the questions because I can't.
Well, I did put it on, so.
Well, this brings up an interesting line of thought, Jinxie, because I personally do prefer just regular old poutine. However, if you're gonna get some kind of a bacon poutine, I think I prefer maple bacon poutine over regular bacon poutine. So, and don't even get me started about pulled pork and all that stuff. But yeah, I do. Ooh. Overall, if I can only have one the rest of my life, it would be just regular poutine.
Can you combo poutine and maple syrup with pulled pork?
My friend, my dear doctor, you can do anything you want.
So I can also add Nutella with it?
If you want. There was a place actually in town where I live in Peterborough for the longest time. It was called Whistle Stop. And this obviously has no relevance to people who aren't from freaking Ontario. But basically, if you live in Ontario, Canada, you know about Whistle Stop. They closed, unfortunately, but they had like over 1,000 flavors of different types of poutine. And one of which was actually a Nutella poutine. Not even being funny.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, they had two versions of it. They had the two variants of it. One was like a dessert version, and it was like funnel cake fries with Nutella on top and powdered sugar. So it wasn't really poutine, but like it's close enough. Yeah. Doc's having a moment. Yeah, It's good stuff.
So Canada goes from war crimes to food crimes really quick, don't they?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
Apparently,
We're really nice about it, but yeah, like it's yeah. Some of the stuff that place had.
I mean, I was joking with the pulled pork and poutine maple syrup combined with Nutella. I didn't know it was a thing.
Maple
I was
pulled pork
joking.
poutine? Yeah, no, maple pulled pork poutine's a thing. Oh,
Oh,
donair poutine, Juicy?
that's-
Don't even, bro. Don't even.
Come again.
I'm hungry now. Donair poutine. You know what a donair is? Probably not. It's probably
No,
not.
I wouldn't ask if I knew.
Yeah, there's. I'm gonna have to come on another time where we can just talk food.
Yeah, DrTorment food talks. Why not?
Yeah,
I'll just make a podcast out of it. Food talks with DrTorment.
Yeah, that's like a whole other. Basically, it's a type of a strip meat. It's a type of like a strip meat that's like a ground type meat. It's also Greek technically. Gyro. You might know it as gyro,
That
maybe,
I do.
perhaps.
That I am familiar
So it's
with.
gyro meat, which is traditionally, I think, a couple different combinations of meat. Sometimes it's lamb, but donair is basically.
I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
Döner kebab. Yes, I'm familiar with it.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Why do
it's
you have
also
to Frenchify everything? Why? It's just like one or two provinces in Canada that speaks French, right?
Yeah, I don't know where they get the name from, but it's a Cape Breton thing, which is where my family's from, and yeah, anytime I go down there, I get myself some donair poutine, and bro, I'll drive the 24-hour drive it takes me to get there just to go to donair.
Okay, brother, Marv noises.
I'm good at that. That's one thing I can always do.
How about no?
Now it looks like Dreadful did ask a question. Yeah, not in the Q&A though. He just for so I can see it.
Oh, that's too bad. That's
I'll
less
answer
fun.
So I'll answer the question, then I'll do my live reading, and then I'll pass things over to you for your live reading and so forth.
Okay.
TJ, what got you into podcasting, and especially of the horror variety? What were some of your inspirations? So I did talk a little earlier about this, but just kind of to quickly make sure I, obviously answer the question. I got into podcasting in general after I finished working at what was my dream job at the time, running like a guitar store, and I kind of fell out of love with music for a little while. I didn't want to play music or even really listen to music because I was just in a really weird place after the store closed, and so I really got into podcasts around that time, and I was going to do interviews with bands and stuff for the store anyway, for like a YouTube channel. That's something we were talking about. So as I listened to more podcasts and stuff, I was like, this is a really cool medium, and this is something that I think could be really fun. And people at store would always say, oh, you should write a book, you have all these stories and everything, and like you're very fun to talk with about stuff. And I would always kind of interview people to get to know them so I could best serve them and so forth with their musical needs. And so that's kind of what got me into doing the interview podcast stuff. And just, I was bored. And a friend of mine was doing YouTube content, and he was doing actually wrestling content at the time. And I was going to jump in with them and do some stuff. And the one night he had to cancel, unfortunately, to like a recording session we were going to do. But I was like creatively firing on all cylinders that night. So I was like, dude, like, I got to do something. And so I was like, this podcast thing, it's kind of a fun idea. If I did a podcast, I could call it a hodcast.
A hodcast. Why didn't you go with that?
It was trademarked.
Oh,
because I tried to go with it, and I actually got a cease and desist. Not an official cease. I got a pretty strongly worded email. Let me say. So I went back to the Hodder Show, because it was the Hodder Show because the Joshua Show was a podcast I really liked, so I stole the name. So it was the Hodder Show because why not? And I did that for a while. Really fun. I've I think I talked about this before when I was on, but I wasn't really a horror guy for a long time. I always loved reading horror.
Right, I do recall that when it comes to horror podcasting, you're fairly new.
Yes, I am, all things considered. It wasn't until 2019 I kind of started very slowly kind of getting into it, but it was not really. And on the Hodder show, I would dabble in telling ghost stories and stuff like that, especially around Christmas time.
Right.
Because that's a tradition I always love. The old Victorian tradition of telling ghost stories at Christmas, but also at Halloween, obviously. But like, I didn't get really into it until 2020. When I started a job where I had a lot more time to myself. I got into the SCP universe, and that was very like, I got into SCP Archives, the podcast, which really I owe a lot to SCP Archives as far as what got me into where I am now with my horror podcast fandom. I fell in love with the medium. It was very accessible for someone like me who doesn't have a lot of experience with horror. SCP, obviously, it's super popular for a reason. I got really into the narrator the main narrator for SCP Archives. His name's John Grills. He is without a doubt, my favorite and my biggest inspiration to do this. Anyone who knows Creepy, the podcast, and then listens to me, especially in the first early days of tapes, the first couple months, it's like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, we hear it a little bit, you know. But now as time goes on, I like to think I'm trying to, you know, not like I'm trying to sound like him, but like, you know, the first couple episodes of tapes I did that aren't posted, I did as like a kind of test run. I didn't use them because I was like, okay, I'm just trying to sound like John Grills. I can't do that. No one wants that. But, you know, there's only one John Grills, man. So then I got into his podcast, Creepy, which is my favorite podcast. And then from there, it has exploded into, there's tons of podcasts. I can just sit here and talk about it for hours and hours and hours about kind of what got me more into it. But now I'm a total horror nut. I'm catching up on all these horror movies I never watched. I'd say probably my top 5 as far as the people who have influenced me most, as far as inspire me to narrate the way that I do. John Grills from Creepy, Graham Rowett from SCP Archives, No Sleep Podcast, The Grey Rooms. He's done a bunch of stuff. He's awesome. He's one of the best narrators and voice actors in the world. Jason Wilson from The Grey Rooms. It explains itself. Grey Rooms is one of my favorite podcasts, and he was very influential to me at a point, before I started tapes, but at a point where I was in a really low point with my podcasting life. I was ready to kind of call it a day. He was really influential in me keep going, basically. And there's a bunch of, I'll give you my top 3. Those are my 3, I'd say, are my biggest influences. And then the support from the community and all that fun stuff has been awesome. Lots of people in this chat, Dr. T. And yeah, I'd say those are probably the biggest inspirations and everything to get me to do this. Cryptic Tales is here. Hey, Cryptic. And,
hello, Cryptic.
House Jen. Or House of
we
Jen?
say Jen. Jen
no,
is
but
also
it's like
fine.
Hause. Is that house still?
Well, see, in my Germanic reading, it basically says house in the German sense. Hause.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
For me, at least. So, yeah. But yes, welcome, Cryptic and Jen. Welcome to the stream. We were just catching on how TJ got inspired to do horror podcasts.
Yes, I was waxing poetically once again.
I mean, I find it a little funny how Jinxie is like mentioning Lebanese meat pie, and then in comes Cryptic Tales.
Yeah, I know.
It was like,
that was funny.
Anyone said Lebanese. It's like, okay.
Did someone say Lebanese meat pies? What up?
Now I'm hungry
Jen
too.
Works. Yeah, still awesome. Yes, yes. Well, I was the reason why I picked it out cryptic is because I was talking. I was waxing poetically, so Dr. T didn't want to interrupt me. But yes, everyone's here. It's great. Hello, everybody. Now, as I was supposed to do, I wanted to answer Dreadful's question. I'm going to do a quick little fun read, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to pass things back over.
Right, because it is tradition in my house. It is tradition in my house that the guest does start the live reading. And since we are at it for like with the break, yeah, if we're counting the break 1.5 hours, I do believe it's about time we did so. Right, EJ?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Yes. So
I've got
a fun short one here. Yes.
Ooh, a fun short one.
I keep cutting you off.
No, I was just about done. Don't worry about it. I was just about done.
Okay.
So, anyways, all I wanted to say is, well, the stage is all yours. I'll go ahead and mute myself, and you can go ahead and read your fun little story.
Yes, the stage is mine. Like it hasn't been this whole time because I haven't shut up. But anyway, so this is a story from the Creepypasta Wiki, written by an anonymous author. Anonymous author. I don't know if it's actually going to be any good or not, but the first couple lines caught me, so we'll see. It is entitled Caretaker. She's asleep. We can talk for a moment. Far from it. I know all the good people do in their lives should afford them some comforts as the years of their lives dwindle to an end. They need help. And that is all I ever wanted to do. Help. It's tough, though. Definitely not for everybody. It's thankless a lot of the time. They just don't recognize you and act like you're hurting them. The moment of fear in their eyes is just heartbreaking. They struggle too. It's all you can do to just keep them from hurting themselves. They just don't know any better. And talking is useless. And of course, the fluids. Ugh. The rot within the human body is enough to put you off of food for good. But it's like I said, I don't resent them. That would be like getting angry at the weather. It just doesn't do anybody any kind of good. The best you can do is just buck up and smile through it. You do it for a cause bigger than yourself. And everybody else can go to hell, you know? I'm doing good deeds. And that's enough for me. I do go on, don't I? Just excited to be talking to people, I suppose. Anyway, you're here to check on your ex-wife, right? Well, no worries. I caught her with minimal fuss. Hardly any damage at all. She's sedated, so you can do as you like. But you might want to say your goodbyes. I don't think she'll last another week. She's too popular. The pretty ones never last long. So dark at the end there.
That was indeed sweet and short.
That was Caretaker from the Creepypasta Wiki. Yeah, and I didn't think it was going to go the way it did, but that's okay. Yeah, so that was, yeah.
That was,
yeah.
To quote dreadful anecdotes in the chat, it's like, oh my.
Multiple dots, yeah.
Multiple
sorry,
dots.
That shouldn't have been in the category that it was in. Yeah, that was dark and different kind of dark and heavy. That's why you maybe read things beforehand. But anyway, yeah, that's yeah.
I mean, by all means, this is still a horror channel, you know? I mean, people know what
Yes.
I hope people know what they sign up for when they subscribe to a horror channel. And horror comes in many other in many other varieties. So sometimes it's intense, sometimes it's a slow burn. You never know, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Other than that, indeed,
Yes.
a very good read. That I was definitely listening in. Like I admit, I was like, I was like looking at my phone at one point, and I was like, and then you said something. I was like, oh, hold on, I need to listen to this now.
Thank you, Jen. Great cadence pacing reforms. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And always thank you, Dreadful. Jen, if you liked anything about what I just did, please check out my my podcast, Trepidation. Do things a little differently. You know, sometimes it's not. The reading isn't exactly that way all the time, but that was the first time I ever read that story. So that was, yeah, that was cool. I like short content too. That's just me. But yeah, anyway. The other stories I have today are a little more. Well, the one I have like a little, I have a lullaby, so to speak. I really want to read now, especially after that story. Let's just keep things super weird.
Super weird as a word, yeah, sure.
Yeah, super weird. It's like weird, but like super.
Oh, hello, Fridge Reaver. He's just hopping in for a greeting. Well, that's it. Greetings, Fridge Reaver.
Hello.
Oh, he's also got a download running, just a few gigabytes. Or yeesh, yeah. You do want that to be stable. I get that, man. Cryptic Tales is asking if you could do it again, because he wasn't in the live stream, apparently. Well, that's why I have a live stream running, apparently, Cryptic.
Yeah, you know, the last time I checked, you could just, you know. Thank you, Jen. Weird sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah, listen, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how I held it together that last paragraph, because as I was reading, I was like, I don't even want to finish this story. It's not the kind of content I normally would do, what it's insinuating, you know. But yeah, that's what it is, I guess. But yes, thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
If I can give a bit of advice, TJ, if you want to do short stories next time, right? My advice is when you go to the creepypasta wiki, just type in micropastas, and usually you get a good assortment, or you get an author's name that has, or you have an author's name that basically has a bunch of micropastas, which usually are like nice. And just looking at it myself, it's like nice.
Yeah, that's actually what I did, but I'll also tag like certain things. It's like that was tagged under mental illness, which I don't know why it was. So I thought it was, I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought it was gonna be like a stalker type story, or like a caretaker who was looking after a dead body or something. That's kind of where I thought it was going. But that's, again, I didn't pre-read it, which normally I do. But I want it to be different this time around.
I get it. Don't you worry a thing, son. So good thing you're not reading the third parent then.
Haha, nope.
No, we're not gonna read that, no. House of Jen. I've never heard the term micropasta, Dr. T. Is that similar to two-sentence horror stories? Not exactly. So basically what that is like a 2-minute creepypasta story, basically. Right, DJ? Could call it that?
Basically, micropasta is the term for, I believe it's 300 words or less, if I'm not mistaken.
Basically, Reddit short scary stories. It's like that.
Yes. Definitely under 500 words, for sure.
Definitely. So pretty short content. I used to do that myself, like 500 words and less stories. And then I got a knack for the bigger stories. Such a... Phone, shut up. How dare you make a noise? I had you on silent, didn't I? Oh, silent except for family, of course.
Yeah, creepypastina is. I can't remember who said that on
Oh,
one of your streams.
that was me
Was it
and
Madam?
Madam Strangeways, yes.
Yeah,
We
it's
called it creepypastinas.
creepypastina, and I was like, that's really funny and everything, but it's actually micropasta. She's like, whatever, I like mine better. I'm like, yeah, yours is definitely better. Creepypastina, which is what we'll call it.
Cryptic Tale says, let me just steal all your guests. Dreadful, TJ, you can keep Madam Strangeways. Why not take Madam Strangeway as well, Cryptic?
Doc,
By all
get your
means,
boy.
if you say steal all my guests, then, take all of them. Not like, just take all of them. Keep to your word.
Get your boy.
I'll even help you with it. By all means, kidnap them all. TJ deserves to be my guest just as soon as you help me set up Dr. T. Yeah, we still have to do a call on that one. Sorry, Cryptic, as soon as possible, promise. I ain't doing all that. Alright. Well, that's not stealing all my guests then. But without further ado, I believe it is my turn now. And since TJ went off and did us a special kind of reading, I think I should kinda match it. Like, not in that sense particularly, but still with a bit of a shocking ending. And I have just the one.
Well, I'm excited.
And I hear noises behind me. Kitty cat, don't you dare. That's good. Good girl. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, this one is written by Snake Tongue, and it's called The Foreboding. It's a nice, short little story read in approximately, I'm guessing here, 3 minutes, maybe less. But without further ado, here we go. The Foreboding by Snake Tongue. I keep having the same dream every night. It's a recurring nightmare that I just can't seem to push out of my head. At about 4 in the morning, I always wake up drenched in cold sweat. Sometimes I'm screaming, but as hard as I try, I can never seem to remember exactly what it was I was dreaming about. All I can recall are the smallest details, the emotion of dread, the feeling of a jerk in my stomach, and gripping something in front of me very tightly in the dream before I awaken. I think it might be some kind of warning, a premonition of something that is to go terribly wrong. But what? What could it possibly be? Paranoia has taken over my mind and body. Everywhere I go, I live in constant fear that someone or something is hunting me down. This tension reaches a peak one day when I'm driving home from work. I noticed that the car behind me took the same turn as I did, initially thinking that we must be going in the same direction. I did nothing. Then we made the same turn again and again. I felt the fear well up from deep within, and I began to accelerate. When we made the same turn once more, I began to drive 10 to 20 miles an hour over the speed limit, constantly looking behind me and at the rear view mirror. It was too late to see the little kid on the bike as he swerved in front of my car. When I slammed on the brakes, I felt a sudden jerk in my stomach, and my hand grips the steering column tightly as the kid takes a full body hit to my car and makes it partially under the first set of tires. And there you have it. Foreboding by Snake Tongues.
I like that.
I know.
That's good. Excellent read, Doc, as always.
Thank you, TJ. Like I said, this is also not usually something I also read for my channel because, you know, kids and unaliving, not really something I want to feature a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm making the exception today.
Yeah, I like the story I did too. It's the same type of content I would normally do as well.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
the other-
I do have 1 or 2 stories that involves exactly that, kid unalived. It's called Tommy. It's a Reddit story. It's apparently a bit of a famous Reddit story. I wasn't aware. But yeah, I narrated that one last year somewhere. And yeah, it's a bit of a freaky story as well. It's a bit
I'm up
freaky.
for
It's freaky and weird, but you know, it kind of makes you think as well how ghosts work, if there are ghosts, that is. But by all means, I highly recommend checking it out.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm all about it.
Cryptic
Psychological
Tales says that was nice. Jen says good one, and Dreadful Anecdotes nice psychological horror.
Nice.
No.
All that psychological horror around here, huh?
Stop it. Actually, no, don't stop it. It's actually funny.
No, if I keep doing, I'm not going to be able to read the story that the original story of mine. I'm going to read next. That might blow my voice out, but I'm going to do it anyway. Which is very, very different from what I've done on here so far. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. It's a story I've done before on my podcast, but because I feel like all the stories I've read on here so far, from the last time I was here to even today, they're very much just like my normal narration voice, so to speak. Whereas this is more of a performative story. Like, I'm going to stand up when I do it. That's how into this I get.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I have to do it standing up because I don't think I can do it sitting down, which is how I normally narrate, by the way. But actually, you know what? I think I'm going to do it sitting down. But anyway, that's for when that happens. Glad I happened upon the live to hear the different reads today. Yeah, we're glad you're here too, Jen.
Yeah, we're very glad you're here too, Jen. I think this is actually me and Jen. We know each other from another live stream, but I think this is also the first time she is on one of my live streams.
Ooh.
So that deserves a special welcome.
Yes. Well, I'm honored that you chose to stumble upon this one.
Hello.
Hello.
Dreadful says,
Jen, welcome to the live stream.
Alright, you're being creepy now. Stop it.
The Macho Man Randy Savage, Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Coming to you from beyond the grave. No, I can't keep doing it. You see, I start to lose it after a while.
The funny thing is that Dreadful just said, like, damn, didn't know you invited the Savage himself. Rub shoulders with giants, Doc.
Thinking, huh?
Apparently,
Yeah.
I'm
Well, actually,
rubbing
what she said,
shoulders with
rubber
giants.
Yeah, there's a few in there. Rubber shoulders. Yeah, there's a few voices you'll see me randomly do for no apparent reason. That's one of them.
So chat, by the way, I just want to reiterate that we do have a Q&A going on, so if you have any questions for me and TJ during the live stream, go ahead and ask away. Within reason, of course.
I can't see the Q&A bubble now.
Yes, you should.
Oh, it's because there's a pinned message. Because there's a pinned method.
Well, I can see the pinned method and the Q&A, so... There. Well, Jinxie.
First off, that's
Go
not how you
ahead,
spell
TJ.
Jesus' name.
Go
Hang
ahead,
on, I'm
TJ.
doing something real important here, baby. Give me a
Oh
sec
God,
here.
did you really say baby just now?
Yeah, because I'm doing Dusty Roads.
Oh God.
Baby is a general term, baby. Doing something real important.
All right, I get it.
Little Scully head over there. powerful. What was I trying to say?
Oh my god. I just got a notification on my phone. Oh my god, Isha went and did it.
What I think she did?
She made a My Little Pony version of Dr. Torment. Oh my god.
Yes, Jen, please ask away. I will answer any question. I have no shame. I don't care.
Oh god, I'm just gonna see if I can. Can I get this on the computer, please? Oh, I can see if I can see it on the computer.
I'm not a very serious person, Jen. I will answer any question. I do not care.
He is not joking. He means it. Oh god, I have a My Little Pony. I have a version of myself. Oh god, hold on, chat. I want everybody to see this because it is hilarious to me. It is hilarious to me. Oh, please drive. Don't be stupid now. If you're gonna be stupid, I'm gonna throw the phone. TJ, can you handle the chat while I look into the technical aspect here?
You do your thing, buddy. I got it under control.
Excellent. I can't do it. Fuck, no, I can't do it.
Ain't the macho man, yeah. And Otis Cletus, who is another. That's a whole other. That's a whole goddamn what the hell to do in chat. Welcome to the damn the Torment here with the Dr. Torment.
Oh Jesus, no, never again.
About Otis Cletus there, and talking about the things and what's on everything.
Sometimes you do frighten me.
Yeah, Don't even get me started about Tuba Boy.
Oh, who?
Tuba Boy. Jinxie knows Tuba Boy.
Yeah, that's good for Jinxie. I don't know that one.
Hang on.
Do I want to know?
It's Tuba Boy.
Oh god.
Tuba Boy, got it down here. Hello, my name is Tuba Boy.
I have no one else to blame
Why
but
do they
myself.
call you Tuba Boy? Well, it's because when I was young, I used to play my tuba.
Oh god.
And my mother said, "Can you please stop playing the tuba?" And I said, "But Mommy, I like playing my tuba." So she ended up taking the mouthpiece and shoved it down my throat. So now I talk like this. Tuba Boy. Who's also pal with Otis Cletus? How you doing there, Tuba Boy? Oh, hello. It's good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty damn good there. Taking a nice deficit. Anyway. I wasn't joking.
Absolutely nothing on that. I got absolutely nothing on that.
That's good.
Rats?
You shouldn't have. That's the point. Otis Cletus is just the whole point of Otis Cletus is as I start talking, I progressively don't say words. So it starts off like, "How you doing, Doc? I went to the store the other day."
So it's basically like your typical Texan then.
I wouldn't even say Texan, just like
oh god.
Otis Cletus is a guy you can meet anywhere in the world. He can be anywhere. He's just a guy who he has a mullet and a really good handlebar mustache. He's very overweight, and he's just hanging out, He's just, "How y'all doing there? And watching damn NASCAR, and this is indeed a madhouse. Dreadful. House of Jen. Rock. So, what got you both started in voice acting narrations? Sounds like a late night in the green room at conventions back in the day. Yeah.
Basically.
Probably. Yeah. Well, for me, I did kind of already talk about this a little bit earlier, but just for me, voice acting, I got really into different horror podcasts in 2020, and I've been a horror. I've been a podcaster for it'll be 9 years in this early February that I do another podcast that's unrelated to Tapes of Trepidation, the horror podcast. So I kind of always flirted with it. I got really into the horror world, which is where I discovered that's where I'm most comfortable. That's what I really love as far as from a narration voice acting standpoint. Got really into it, flirted around with it for a little while, got some really great support from listeners of my other podcast, some people who are in the chat even right now. including Dr. T. And
Hmm.
I launched the show about 5 months ago, and yeah, here we are.
Also, I just received a question from one of the most annoying Canadians that is around. Basically, they're asking, Doc, as you are a powerful eldritch entity, thank you, is it possible for you to microwave a burrito so hot that even you yourself cannot hold or eat it? Well, that depends. That basically we basically have to visit Schrodinger's cat then, and that's a philosophical subject I will not touch. In this case, it will not be Schrodinger's cat, it will be TJ's hot dog. That sounds so wrong now that I've said it. Oh, God.
Gee, good Lord. Come on, Doc.
Oh God. Why did you have to phrase it as a hot dog, though? Why? This is not my fault. This is you. You know how my mind goes. You know this.
It's actually referred to as the hot bird, but that's driving it down.
Shush. Dreadful is asking. Oh, Dreadful asked something in the Q&A. It's for you as well.
Very good.
So, TJ, which one... Oh, go away, pop-up. TJ, which one is your favorite story so far that you've narrated and why?
Ooh.
But before you answer, I want to present the people with this unique art piece.
Oh, please do. Please do. I'm ready for it.
Here we go. There it is, coming right next to TJ. Come on, stupid delay. Show it. There we go.
I'm still here waiting, too. I've already seen it because I looked on the Discord, but yeah.
There we go, folks. Dr. Torment has infected My Little Pony. I am inevitable like that.
I am inevitable. I'm so excited this exists now. This might go down as one of the most important live streams in the history of live streams, Doc. I don't know.
It actually might be, yeah.
It might be. This is crucial lore here.
Extremely. I'm actually so happy. Like, oh god. At the same time, I can show this to my cousins and be like, "Hey, look at that! Look what somebody made of your big cousin over here." Because my younger cousins, they still watch My Little Pony, and they force me to watch it. It's torture, really. It's torture to witness. But now I'm so happy that I can be like, "Hey, look what they made of me."
Yeah. It's like me with Bluey, you know.
It's a little misspelled, but I can live with it because I think everybody else spells Stormy with a Y at the end. But I can live with this. It just gives a more Mediterranean look to the name, which I'm all for.
Mm-hmm.
It's magnificent. Oh, it should also be a whiskey glass, but I indulge in wine too, sure. So this one is made by someone that was on the stream earlier today. Then her name is Isha. They also go with the name Pumpkin Memories on YouTube. She also made several fan arts of myself and TJ, come think of it. And is responsible for the stickers in the chat and on the Discord. I'm going to show them off right now. Boom. I can only put in 4. I can except the whiskey one. That one's mine. I can only put in like 4 stickers, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have put in more. I'm still mesmerized with the My Little Pony, Dr. Tormy. Tormy from My Little Pony. Are you still there, TJ?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for a moment I thought you were gone. I was already in panic mode. Oh no, it's the stream crashing again. We're doing so good.
I'm just admiring the Tormy. I also like how it has a glass of wine.
right?
That's,
I mean, I
should
like
have a- yeah.
I like wine. It should have been a whiskey glass, really, but
was
I
just
can
about
live
to say
with this. I can live with this. How do I get to the Q&A bubble? I've never used one, says House of Jen. Ah, that's for Jinxie, never mind. Oh, right, so Dreadful had the question about which one was your favorite story so far that you've narrated
Yes.
and why. Before
Yes, I'm
I
so
rudely
sorry. I
interrupted with my new lore and fan art.
My new lore. That is a really, that's like asking your favorite kids or whatever, I guess, right? It's like, that kind of thing for me. Well, I can tell, I'll give you two answers as far as my most popular story so far, that, which, I don't know if that means it's the best or not, but my most popular story so far is tape number 9, which is The Cold. Shout out to Jinxie. It's a really great one. I was actually sick when I narrated it, and it's a creepypasta about having a cold. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's a little bit of method acting. As far as, man, I'm trying to think. I think, I don't know if, I think it's probably my best episode. But no, yeah, that's what my favorite one is, man. It's harder than I thought.
Oh, if I could interrupt you one more time, TJ over here.
Please do.
The artist has arrived in the chat.
Ah, very good.
The artist of the My Little Pony Tommy. Thank you, Isha. Gracias, as they say in French.
Gracias.
That's a little Mr. Bean reference there for the people who get it. Gracias.
I think Dreadful, there's 3 that are coming to mind, so I need to cheat. One of which is tape number 15, which is WWF canceled in your house pay-per-view. Because that was the first reading I did that was like just me. Like the voice you're hearing right now, that's the voice I use for the reading. So that was kind of cool. Tape number 5, the one behind you, is really, really special. There's no music, there's no sound design or anything. It's just voices. It's just me, like just narrating this entity, and it's also an original story. I really, really love that one. I'm really proud of that one. And the other one is tape number 20, Hell is But a Great Machine, which is another original story. And just that narration is really special because it was very challenging to do. And then I will also give a honorable mention to tape number 25, 11 Days Without Sleep. That one is really special, and I had a lot of really good feedback about that story. So, and tape number 22 is pretty okay as well. Guest narration by DrTorment. It's all right. And tape number 12 is also fantastic. Satellite images featuring Liliana Roman. Got to give a shout out to that one. And there you go. There's a few. There's a few.
There's a few indeed. Isha saying, Gracias is Spanish, Torment. I know, it's a Mr. Bean joke.
Yes. Also, thank you so much, Jen. I see that you have subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
It's merci in French. I know, Isha, I know it is what... I know French. All right. I know how to say merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. It's a Mr. Bean joke. It's a joke. It's a reference to a movie. Still, I love the My Little Pony version. I can't stop looking at it. It's not healthy.
Yep.
House of Jen saying, absolutely, TJ. Oh, House of Jen has a question for the both of us. I was keeping an eye out on the Q&A section because I noticed that she wanted to ask a question, but there were technical difficulties. Up until now, it seems. So, a House of Jen asked, for the both of you, what was the most difficult part to learn as an independent creator?
I'll let you go first.
See, to me, that's a harder question than you'd think, to me. Because the whole process of being an independent creator is a learning process from beginning to the day you finish. Basically, you keep learning new things. But I'd say the hardest thing to learn is just to accept that sometimes it goes with a slow pace. Because I know there are people... Kitty Chaos has begun. Okay, that's terrific. Because I know there are people out there that open up a podcast or a channel and start producing things with the thought of they'll be famous within a week.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
And that's not the case.
That's definitely not the case. I've been doing this for 2 years, and it started out great. So my videos started to get like 200 to 300 views. Sometimes a few thousand, which, you know, is always fun. But at some point I started to have difficulties that, I don't know, the YouTube algorithm just doesn't like me anymore, I suppose. And now I'm having difficulties reaching 100 views nowadays. Like, I'd be happy if I got 50 views for a video.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for me, that was the hardest thing to swallow, basically. Like, you have good periods and you have bad periods. It just comes and goes as the algorithm swings by, I suppose.
Yeah, the peaks and valleys is
it's frustrating. It's sometimes frustrating, and it's like a day of rainbows another time.
Mm-hmm. It's learning to take the good with the bad for sure. That is so crucial.
But that said, another thing you have to learn as an independent creator is when you get feedback, take it as feedback, for one. Mm-hmm. And not all feedback you'll get is constructive. Like, let's be honest, there are douchebags out there that are being douchebags for being douchebags. That just write stupid stuff in the comment section or in the lives, then they have, because they want to be interesting themselves.
Right.
A recent example I can give, like on the podcast episode of The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, that's also here on YouTube. Specifically, when that episode came out on YouTube, the podcast version, not the YouTube version, somebody was posting, well, somebody whose channel name is AI Research, so that says enough. They basically made the claim that Edgar Allan Poe plagiarized all of his work, especially The Raven, I did like 2 minutes of searching and found that like 12 people claim to have done this, that Edgar Allan Poe has plagiarized The Raven, apparently. 12 people with no evidence other than their claims, and they were like decades apart from when the man lived. And 2 of those people didn't even exist.
So there you go.
It's like, and in the words of my professor from University of English Literature and Language, in his words, because I sent him a screenshot of that exact claim, and I posted it on on Discord. It's his words. He's like an epic man, you know. He's like an epic man. He basically said, like, if I had a penny for every time someone told me that Edgar Allan Poe plagiarized his work, I would have gone to retirement the second day I became a teacher, so I wouldn't have to teach you little shits anything. In his words, that's verbatim.
And it's true, like, you know, the whole feedback thing and critique and whatnot can be pretty horrible. I think one of the worst feedbacks I ever got with my interview podcast, someone commented and literally said, "This guy never shuts the F up. I want to hear from the guest." And I was really confused by that because I was like,
I mean, it's your podcast. What do they expect? Like somebody else?
Well, like I was interviewing someone, right?
Right.
So, and they said, this guy never shuts the F up. I want to hear from the guest. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I have my intro that's a minute long. I introduced the guest, and then literally the guest was talking within like 30 seconds. And I was like, I don't understand. And upon further, because I talked with this person, because I was like, hey, like, what, like, and they
Could
were
you
like,
elaborate?
they were like, oh, I only got a minute in. I couldn't stand the sound of your stupid effing voice. And I was like, okay, like, so you just don't, that's fine. Like, that is what it is. You just don't like me. Okay. And the only negative feedback I've gotten from tapes was a similar thing where someone said, your production's really is quite good, but I think you have a horrendous voice for this. I think you should stick with action. And I was like, okay, like, hey, that's fair. Not everyone's gonna. I don't know if I'd use the word horrendous to describe somebody, but
that's
whatever.
the thing. But that's the thing. They want to appear. Well, that's what I have at least had with comments like that. They want to appear like they are like they are the Gordon Ramsay of listeners. I don't know how else to say it. Like they want their point to come across, sure, but they tend to do that in such a rude way that you don't really know, like, is this constructive feedback or are they being a douche? So Absolutely. It's stupid. Just say how you want to say it, but don't pretend to use big words and that you're a big guy or woman, whatever. It serves no one.
Yeah, words like trepidation, it's, but I agree with absolutely everything you said, T. The only thing I will add that I've learned in the almost 9 years I've been creating content independently, very, very, very important. 2 things. Number 1, know that you actually want to do this.
Oh, yes.
Because some people think they want to do it and then they get into it, and that's why most podcasts only have 7 episodes. The other thing is understand your schedule.
Oh, definitely.
Like, understand how you can make things work. There's a reason why the Hodder Show, my interview podcast, is not active right now. It's on a hiatus because I just don't have time to do interviews right now. Luckily, tapes I can do on my own, doesn't matter. So that's another reason why I'm loving it. But even with something like tapes, understand your schedule. Know that if you can be weeks ahead at a time, do that. Just understand your schedule. Don't leave things to the last minute. Stay ahead. That is the biggest piece of advice I can give any creators. That is
actually tremendous advice to give someone. Like, because in the start, that's basically how I did it with the channel. The videos I put out, I make them in the same week that I put out, and my God, that is rush. Like, I admit, back then I didn't do like a lot of the stuff that I do now. Like, it's basically one still image, my voice, and a fade in, fade out effect. So nothing to cry home about. But now that I'm actually making videos like more immersive, like the last Wendigo story I put on the channel, I make them more immersive. I add subtitles. I add different pictures with different filters on, so it's a bit of a better effect and all that. Oh my God, now it takes a lot more time than, say, 3 days to put up a video, so I actually have to plan it out. So knowing your schedule, definitely tremendous advice for anyone that has any idea about making their own horror channel or podcast. You also get a lot of support on the chat, TJ, about the voice comment, which is nice to see.
Yes, thank you so much. I lost the chat. I think I saw Lulu say, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And also,
I was also about to say welcome and hello, Lulu, as well, one of the channel members who is supporting the channel in her own way. Always welcome.
Yeah, having a buffer is very important, Jen. Yeah.
Have a buffer. Elaborate?
Like buffer episodes. Like having.
Like so.
I think that's what you mean. Yeah. Just like have, like I say to people, like it's like I said to you earlier, I have to get ahead with tapes content before I can do anything else. Because I'm not as far ahead as I would like to be. Basically, when I launched, I had 10 episodes ready to go.
Right, so basically here's how I understand buffer episodes. For me, buffer episodes are basically the shorts. if I have a bigger project, or well, a bigger video happening, say over 10-ish minutes, and then I also make a few shorts, because I know I won't be able to make this in 1 week. I will have to wait until next week, because I also have 2 part-time jobs to deal with. Unfortunately, real life is happening. So I make 2 shorts just to feed the algorithm demons that the channel is not dying or something like that. And I just put them out, and that's my way of buffering. Or sometimes I put on a monster quiz in the community tab, which I really should continue. Oh wow, it's been a while since I did that. Good reminder. Good reminder. So yeah, TJ, so buffering, you can basically take that however you will, like a community post with text and make a quiz, that kind of stuff, or shorts as it is, or like shorter videos, like buffer episodes, like you said.
Right. That's how I see it. It's just making sure you have, it's not like, Monday or Tuesday and you were supposed to post on Friday and you're still working on the episode come like Thursday.
Jinxie, your voice. Jinxie says your voice is too Canadian for me. Wow.
Listen.
Says the other Canadian.
There was actually a point in time when someone didn't believe I was a Canadian. Believe it or not. They were like, "You're Canadian?" I said, "Yeah." And they were like, "You don't sound Canadian." I'm like, "What the hell does that mean?"
Wait, is that me?
No. This was a long time ago.
Because I remember I was surprised when you said you're Canadian too, though.
Yes. Because I don't, even though I'm a redneck from a small town, I don't. The only Canadianism I have is a boot. Once in a while, you'll hear me. I'm like, yeah, it's all a boot. It like, and I won't do it on purpose. But yeah, there's not really any. I don't have the traditional Canadian. Oh, how's it going, eh? Like I don't.
Oh God, that was. Oh wow, I'll never stop. It'll always crack me up when you go full Canadian.
Yeah, I can, but I don't like to. I like to just...
Dreadful and House of Jen have asked additional questions. Go away, OneDrive notification. I'm trying to read.
Trying to read now.
So dreadful anecdotes asks, to the both of you, have you ever thought about releasing some sort of merch in the future?
Short answer is yes.
I mean, yeah, short answer yes, but when? Here's the thing. On my end, yes, I've definitely considered it. On the other end, I'm a horrible time manager as it is. Like, I'm very inconsistent with my social media posts to start with. The only consistent thing about DrTorment is the upload schedule. Like Wednesday and Saturday, one of those days you can expect something coming out from the channel, except when, as of what has happened recently in the week, a system reset happened and all of my project just got deleted, so I have to start from scratch again. 5 weeks of work that was. Pinks away tear.
I feel for you, man. Been there.
Like, the entire September schedule is now entirely gone, and that is why it will be dark poetry and gothic poetry content only, because that is short and simple to make. Yeah, that's a bit of an emergency situation, but that said, I'm a horrible time manager, so if I have to add, like, a web shop to manage, like, I don't know how to set it up to begin with. Like, I know, like, Duchess of Darkness, I believe, uses a spread shop.
There's a bunch of them out there.
There's a bunch of them out there, and basically I want to do my research, like which one is better, like, and I definitely don't want products to be overpriced. Like, who the hell is going to buy a cup for 15 euros or dollars? That sounds just too expensive, even for merch. Even for me, that sounds like too expensive. And I'm an Italian, I tend to be greedy like that. So yeah, it doesn't really compute with me. Like $15 for a mug, who would pay for this? Yeah. That's just how my mind goes, I just go into the mind of the consumer themselves and like, why? Like, I get it, like, if you add shipping costs and that, but then the shipping costs are separate from the product, and then you start thinking again, why would you bother? Just buy a regular mug then. It serves the same purpose. Let's see, now I'm like I'm basically talking myself against making merch. But I'm considering it. I just want to know which one is fairer priced, I suppose, to consumers.
Yeah, shipping can be the problem. Like, especially like me being in Canada. Like, for me to even just ship something to the States, it's like, yeah, it's too much money, way too much. Yeah, no good. Don't like that. But yeah, definitely merch coming soon. For sure, mugs and whatnot. And I want a hat, so I'm gonna do a hat at some point, and shirts probably. I have merch for my other podcast, but yeah, like yeah.
So yeah, in my case, merch definitely on the horizon, but I couldn't tell for the life of me when it will actually be live. Because, you know, designing and all, I don't know how to do that. I probably have to ask Duchess of Darkness for help with that, if she replies.
Well, I mean,
but
you need to
yeah,
design stuff. You know,
I know you just put on your logo on something and it just like automatically makes it and stuff like that. But yes, still, I'm a bit of a. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist. And I punish myself. House of Jen says, I had secondhand stress when I saw that Dr. T, all that work. You had secondhand stress. Jen, listen, I had like stress from I had so much stress. I was actively mad that I didn't have drinks, like alcohol. I was mad that I didn't have alcohol in the house for about 2 weeks now. Because I really, really needed it. I really needed it. But at the end of the day, I thought to myself, well, I can be mad about it and, you know, think myself into a depression. Or I can be productive and go into an emergency plan and just continue working on the channel. That's it. And I chose the latter. Now I'm less upset about it, but it still stings.
Come here. Sorry, cats are here.
TJ, House of Jen also had another question for us.
Yes.
So Jen asked, what kinds of software is y'all using, is y'all go-to for editing?
Mine's really quick, Adobe Audition. I use Audacity for a long time, but I use Adobe Audition. Powerful software.
I use a kitty cat. My water, I told you this before.
Kitty Chaos.
You also have a kitty chaos.
I'm currently holding my cat.
My editing software is Audacity for recording, and to actually edit the videos on YouTube, I use Filmora Wondershare, which is an absolute powerhouse of a resource if you have it. I have a subscription that I pay once a year for. I think like $50, almost $60, and it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I pay for mine monthly, and sometimes it's not worth it. But...
Which one? Adobe?
Yeah, it's expensive.
That's Adobe. That's Adobe, man.
Yeah, if I could just pay one.
If you want, I can show you how Wondershare works one of these days. It's like really simple.
Yeah, I just anyway.
Even for just audio, it's like really simple.
It's good stuff. A lot of good stuff out there. But
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of good stuff out there. Yeah.
Cindy says she has to make a phone call in 5 minutes. Don't know how long I will be. No, that's okay, Cindy. You take your time. We will still be here. That's it, TJ. Perhaps now is a good time to do another break?
Sure. Yeah, we'll do a break and then come back and maybe we'll both do one more story and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, we can.
My time to
unless we can both do a short one right now.
Well, the one I have is like maybe 500 words. So, or I can do a short one. I don't really. I can. Yeah.
You want me to say? I can send you one.
Well, I have. Like I said, I have two things pulled up here. One of which is that original story I was talking about. I mean, it's pretty short, but define short.
I mean, well, what is this pretty short you're talking about?
This might take me like 3 to 5 minutes to name.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, sure, by all means.
Because like, we can take a break quick if you want. It'll be a quick break for me.
Well, I think if we can do like if we can do each a short story right now, take a break then, and then we can do the longer stories. I think that will be fine.
Okay, because I got about half an hour.
Oh, you got half an hour. Oh, right, I didn't mind the time. In that case, no. In that case, we are going to take the break right now, and we'll do the longer story after the break.
Cool. Sounds good.
Sounds good to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in about 5-ish minutes. Hopefully the stream will not crash. And we'll see you again very, very soon. And we are back from our final break, ladies and gentlemen. With me still is the host of Tapes of Trepidation, TJ Hodder.
I'm not going to do the bit this time where I
I'm not saying you should do the bit. I just said you were here. Jesus.
Yes, I'm still sitting in your office here.
Listen.
Yes. Happy to be here, Doc. Always a pleasure.
So, of course it's a pleasure. It's me.
But of course. And quickly, before I forget, Dreadful, thank you very much. The Tapes of Trepidation logo is awesome. Big shouts to my brother Jason Reese from Jaybird Digital Arts for creating that amazing logo.
I still want to be in touch with that man.
Yes, you do. You guys will get along really well, too.
Yeah, I remember I sent him a mail some time ago, but never got a reply, so I assume he's busy.
Yeah, that's strange.
You'd have to be a busy guy. Oh, my mail just got into the spam, which apparently happens. Tales from the Vox, who I contacted for the Big October project. Apparently, my mail went to his spam as well, so I don't know what it is, why my email is like, yes, spam mail. But, yeah, that's frustrating. Weird, as a certain Hollywood actress said, who is currently definitely not waging a war against fan of Snow Whites.
Very good.
But we are not a channel that discusses that. I see Lulu has done a very good job keeping everyone hydrated. Well done on the bar, Lulu. Well done.
Thank you, Lulu. Appreciate that.
And
I'll have one on the box, if you don't mind.
I'll have mine neat, thank you very much. And Fritch Reaver, if you're still in the stream, I was wondering, there was a comment you made up there, so yeah, it is traumatizing. When I offered a story to narrate, you had not finished it yesterday. Like, I think it's a joke, but I'm not getting it. I don't believe I ever said, like, I have a story done within a day. Oh, God, what happened? That's an awful noise. Oh, hello.
Oh, sorry, that might have been me.
Fritch Reaver has been admitted into the asylum. Welcome, you're now a patient, and you'll never be able to leave. So yeah, if you could just elaborate on that comment, because if it is a joke, it's going over my head, unfortunately.
Going over my head as well. But, that's not hard to do, so,
Oh, don't say that about you, TJ.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm telling you what to do. Don't think that about yourself.
Whatever.
Let's see. House of Jan said, about Audacity. I think Audacity is like the first wave editor most folks use. Can't beat free and beginner friendly. See, finally, someone gets it. Yes. You don't always have to pay, or you don't always have to pay a subscription or one-time fees. Sometimes you have a free product that just is great to work with.
Yep.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Audacity is fantastic. It's a great product. I use it for a very, very long time.
Like, I actually know someone who raps in our native language. And when I said I use Audacity for my narrations, he basically went, "Oh, you still live in 2000 something?" It's like, well, excuse me, I didn't know there were other free and great recording softwares out there. By all means, is yours free? And he pays his for like $30 a month.
So he probably uses Adobe.
I don't know what he uses. I genuinely don't know. I didn't ask. I gave him that kind of respect. I didn't ask for his software because I didn't want to divert the subject. But basically, yeah, he pays 30 a month, and honestly, the quality is
It's not the software, it's the user. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, then it's this microphone, and the thing is, he has like this padded wall behind his microphone and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm just sitting here like, so you pay $30 a month for the past 2 years. You can imagine how much money that's already spent on that for that software, and you still don't know how to clean up the sound of your mic. That's just crazy. Like, my god, get a sound editor out here. So let me have a crack at it.
Mm-hmm.
And give you your money's worth back. Ah, dreadful anecdotes. Hey Doc, do we still have to use snakeskin for the outhouses? I know we had a disagreement which downgraded us from a single cloth to discarded snakeskin, so how about we change things back? Yeah, here's the
We were talking about that earlier, weren't we? About the sandpaper?
Yeah, it's sandpaper now, Dreadful, but since you brought it up, I don't see why we can't change a few things.
How about we get some indoor plumbing? That'd be sick.
How about no?
Okay. Can I get a hole in the ground at least?
No.
Okay.
But I was thinking maybe glass shards instead of snakeskin or sandpaper.
I mean, I'd rather stick with sandpaper, but whatever.
No, yeah, but that's the thing. It's my decision. I'm going with glass shards.
Okay.
Have fun with that.
You know, whatever. Whatever works. You know, I'm not here to tell you how to run your asylum.
House of Jen. Room treatment, mic type, and understanding mic dynamics makes more difference than all the software money can buy. Absolutely.
Yep. Absolutely, it does. It is like the way when I narrate for the podcast, I don't. The setup I have right now is not what I use. Like I have a whole different thing that I use. Yeah, Dreadful says UF. Okay.
Jinxie says, at this point, I'll just use my hand. Well, here's the fun thing, Jinxie. It's my asylum. It bends to my whim, as do the people inside of it. So, if you did use your hand, well, congratulations. It's full of glass shards.
Glass shard gloves.
No, just in your hand.
Ooh, okay.
That's more fun. House of Jen, maybe cactus pads for the asylum TP. Well, we already discussed this. That's not the glass shards for House of Jen. But cactus pads for the chairs, though. That's a fun idea. Thank you, House of Jen, for the inspiration today.
Thanks, Jen. Appreciate it. Goodness gracious. Appreciate that, Jen. Thanks so much.
But without further ado, because TJ is a bit on a ticking time clock here, TJ, how about you start off with your reading?
Yes. Okay. So, this story that I'm going to read for you guys is an original story.
Ooh.
It was actually technically what started this whole journey in a weird way, because this was the first when I started looking for stories on Reddit to narrate for what was going to be my original horror podcast. I kept getting turned down from authors, and my whole thing was like, well, I wanted to get to know some authors so I can narrate for work with. So I was like, let me post a story that is so god-awfully horrendous, and they're gonna all tear it to shreds so that I can go, see, look, like I need help, I suck, please help me. And that was kind of my plan, to be like, maybe some people would feel bad for me and be like, oh yeah, we'll help you out with some stories. You know what I mean? That was kind of my thought process. So I wrote a random story, didn't think anything much of it. I had one line that I repeat throughout the story that I kind of had in my head. And when I say I crapped out a story in like half an hour, I mean literally like on break at work. I just was like, bleh, here's this story. Bleh. I uploaded it on Reddit, and let's just say I was very surprised with the feedback I got. To the point where some people, one of the comments I got was, this is literally one of the most beautiful stories, but dark but beautiful stories I've ever read. What is this about? People were breaking it down, like, is this about certain things and this and that? And I had people report my account because they thought it was real.
Hyping it up.
I mean, I don't think it's the best thing I've ever written, but I know it's something kind of special. And the way that I narrate it is very different from what you guys have heard me do so far on here on the Guests of Torment. So without further ado, I'm going to do my best to do this justice. This is an original story originally posted on the No Sleep Reddit account by the Dread Files Reddit account. This is it's always watching me.
All right, and the stage is all yours.
I'm not crazy. It's just your eyes playing tricks on you, they said. Maybe you need to lay off watching TV before bed, as if what I've been seeing and hearing over these past few months has been all inside my head. How can they dismiss me? How can they not understand the danger that I'm in? How can they not comprehend the immediate threat to my very life and ignore my pleas for help? I'm so tired. I just don't know what to do anymore. I'm writing this as a final effort, one more try to figure out what is watching me. Always watching me. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. It started as something I would see out of the corner of my eye. It would be so quick. But I know what I saw was real. In time, it became more obvious. The flashes and the far reaches of my vision became quick reflections in the mirror. I'd blink and it would be gone, but the terror of what I saw would remain. I would see its dark, pale, and yet almost beautiful eyes watching me, staring at me from vents, from other cars as I drove, in my phone's camera as I'd go to take a picture. Just watching me. Always watching me. Forever silent, but so deafening I could not focus on anything else. Invisible to all else around me, but hidden in plain sight. Letting me feel peace for a few precious moments, only to appear again and again. It never stops. It's always there, and it's always watching me. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I tried seeking help. I spoke to the police, and they thought that I was on drugs or that I might be losing my mind. They spoke to me like I was some sort of mental patient, and I was beginning to think that they were right. I sought the aid of a shrink who was little help himself. I'd lay on his soft leather couch and tell him about the things I'd see. All while those dark, pale, beautiful eyes were watching me. Always watching me. It never sleeps. It never blinks. It never breaks its gaze on me. And I even see it in my dreams. I'm not crazy. And now I'm just so tired. I'm so tired of trying to explain, trying to rationalize, and trying to fight. I'm just so very tired. I can see it now. It's right in front of me. I can see it as clearly as I see this screen. Oh God. It's staring at me over my laptop as I write what was supposed to be my last-ditch effort for help. For an explanation. But now, I think this will be my eulogy. I feel a sense of calm washing over me as it's beginning to creep towards me. I can see all of it now. It's horrifying and yet magnificent. all this time I was afraid. Afraid of why it was watching, always watching. But now it's offering a hand. It wishes to take me away from all of this. And as I stare into its dark, pale, beautiful eyes, I feel nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it's so peaceful. I'm not crazy. And that was It's Always Watching Me. Originally posted on the No Sleep subreddit, written by yours truly.
Jesus Christ, that was well performed. My God.
Thank you. That was also the first episode of Tapes of Trepidation. If you even remotely enjoyed that, I implore you all to go check out the first episode because it's done a little better, you know.
So that is the first episode of Tapes of Trepidation, people. I have the link in the description. Go ahead and subscribe and watch that. It is so great. It is so great.
It's a little more unhinged in the, because you know I could do retakes and stuff, and you know.
Yeah, of course. But for a live reading, my God, I was actually taken aback.
Well, thank you. I also, like I said, you know, usually I'm very kind of, you know, the way
Making
I narrate. Yeah.
I mean, the story that I had in next will not top that at all.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
No, it certainly will not. It's not it's one of those Reddit stories that I have permission to read for, but my God, man, that was actually very good. Well done. Well done indeed.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Lulu, Jinxie, Dreadful. Thank you all so much.
Praise is well deserved. Oh God, I actually am ashamed to do mine.
No. Listen, you got to understand too, dude. Like, you know how many times I redid that story?
Yeah, sure, but still.
Like, I know that story inside and out. Like, I know where it needs to be and certain forth and everything. Yeah. Thank you, Jen. Seriously, thank you so much. That flattery gets you everywhere with me.
Yeah. I'm not gonna touch that. We know the old joke. We know the old joke that we have on the Discord with that.
Yes, we don't say that.
I could hear the facial expressions changing with each line. I mean, you could hear it. I could see it.
Could you see me smacking myself in the head too? Could you guys hear me smacking myself? Because in the recorded version, you can actually physically hear me hitting myself a couple of times. Yeah, it's a thing.
Don't spoil it. Let them discover it from themselves.
And that's the one that people were like, "Yo, is this dude okay?" And I had a friend who is basically a psychologist, was like, "This is one of the best actually, you know, I'm not gonna get into that. You're gonna do your story now."
Yeah, I'm basically ashamed to do it now. So the story is called, it's one of those long titles, as Reddit authors like to make them. I have to decide whether or not to make a deal with the devil to save my sister from dying. Ooh. Pretty self-explanatory title there, but also a little too long for mine. It is written by Just Human 963. Then, without further ado, let me begin. My dear sister has been the only light in my life since our parents died over a decade ago. I've been the one to raise her all this time. I've kept her safe, clothed, fed, and kept in school. I've given all I can to make sure she can have the closest thing to a normal life as possible. Lately, she's been showing signs of infection. The doctors say she doesn't have much time left. Our parents died due to some kind of deal they made. A deal with the devil. For generations, my family has been making all sorts of deals for various things at many different prices. I'm not entirely sure what they made the deal for, but it claimed their life pretty fast. Lives, that's a typo. We were we were in a real bad accident of a sort, and we had a hard collision with a wall or truck. I can't fully remember. This killed them, and almost killed me and my sister. In some half-second of a moment, time froze. I was sitting in the back seat, face to face with some sort of entity. I was given a chance for me and my sister to get out of this alive. I was never told what the price was. My sister now has some really aggressive infection in one of her kidneys that is tearing that thing apart. A few weeks at best is what I was told. They would need an organ donor, and even then the chance of her living was pretty low. Today, that same entity came to me. Here I sit in a chair in the hospital room my sister is in. She's in a deep sleep now. I have been told that I can save her by trading one of my kidneys and 40 years of my remaining lifespan. This deal basically eliminates the infection and extends her already shredded lifespan back to normal. Based on some mental math with average lifespans and my family's slightly lower life expectancy, I would probably have no more than 10 to 15 years of my own life left. I'm only 25, but she is 15. On one hand, I'm halfway through college and I already have a career lined up. Despite everything that has happened, I'm already looking at a potential future where things will be stable. On the other hand, she is only a freshman in high school and has the rest of her life ahead of her. I've been able to help get into any club, sport or hobby she'd wanted to try. The amount of stability I've provided has almost secured her ability to flourish. There are two major outcomes. Either I can basically sacrifice my life for her and let her live on, or let her die and save my own life. If she lives, then this curse will continue, and she'll have to make a trade-off for something in the future. If I let her die, I can simply not have kids, and end this curse once and for all. What do I do? And that is the Reddit story. I have to decide whether or not to make a deal with the devil to save my sister from dying by JustHuman963.
Beautiful, dude. I love that story. I love it.
It was also a featured story on the channel itself. I basically shortened the title to Save My Sister, ? Because, you know, YouTube would never accept such a long title to begin with.
No.
Clickbait.
Yeah. Hello, Morty.
I see there has been some activity in the chat.
It's me and Jen shooting the breeze. She's an audio nerd.
Mm-hmm.
So
just like you.
I can just tell. Yeah, I can just tell from some of the things that she said in the conversation. I'm like, clearly she works in audio or does some kind of work in that world. So
your breath work is immaculate, Dr. T. Well, the breathing at the end was, well, there was a bit of a joke there because of the long title. Unless I'm misreading that. What was that about the breath work? Is that something?
Just like breath work, like when you're doing a narration, like you. Morty, really, dude?
Mm-hmm. Kitty Chaos is not on my end today. Ha ha!
It's Morty just throwing things around. Yeah, it's just like, you know, knowing where to breathe and so forth and whatnot. I suck at that. That's why I edit it all out on my podcast. But yeah.
Also, thank you, Jen, Lulu, and Dreadful for the applause and the kind remark.
Yes, you're. I've heard you narrate that story before, but yeah.
I mean, that was like over a year ago by now, I think, right?
Well, I had just heard it because you uploaded it on the podcast thing, so I just heard it.
Oh right, I did upload it on the podcast. I forget that I have a podcast. Yeah, you have excellent control. Not breathing after every sentence and licking your lips. Jinxie. That's a reference to the auditions that we had for the big project.
Oh, I thought she was taking a shot at me.
Oh, no. I mean, I didn't hear you licking your lips, and if anything,
crazy. It's just yours.
Jesus. I knew that was gonna come. Why am I surprised? I knew that was gonna come.
What?
That said, ladies and gentlemen, I do have my own Discord where I tend to be more approachable. I think the word is, right? Yes.
Sure.
I'm more approachable there. I'm more active on it too. So here's the thing. If you want to join me on my Discord server, I have a Discord in the link tree in the description as well. Come ahead and join, because later today, which is in 50 minutes from now, we'll be having a movie night. Yay. Come and join. We'll have fun. And after the movie night, there will be a special announcement and teaser for the big project. It will be only shown in the Discord, and it will only be on YouTube. Well, not this week, but somewhere next week or the week after that one. So yeah, Discord exclusive announcement after movie night. It's gonna be so much fun.
Exciting times.
Exciting times indeed.
There once in a while too, which might be some reason why some people don't go there, but you should anyway.
Oh yeah, TJ is there on occasion too, but that's not important. Hey. What is important, however, is that I have Discord.
Yes.
But love movie night, says Lulu. Well, I guess we'll be seeing you there then, Lulu. Well, but with that all said and done, ladies and gentlemen, TJ has a limited time span, and it is also time that we have to end our little soiree today.
This has been so much fun. Thank you for having me. Thank you to everybody.
It's always fun to have you. It's always fun to have you around, TJ.
Yay. It's
always been fun. Well, I think any last words for the audience or any projects we should be looking out for?
Just socials are in the in my link tree there. I do also have a Discord as well if you guys want to join. I don't do movie nights or anything because I work nights, unfortunately, so it kind of sucks.
Lame. Sorry.
I try to be active. I hope to be more active as now that I'm kind of getting back into the normal swing of things with summer being done. I should be a little more active. I also have Facebook and Instagram. I have a Patreon if you want some extra bonus content and want to support the podcast. Cool way to do that. Yeah. Message me anytime. If you're ever like, hey, I want to hear you do this story. I'm like, cool. All that kind of fun stuff. T, thank you so much. You know how much I appreciate you. I don't need to sit here and, talk about it, but I'm going to just say thank you, and that I'm glad I met you, dude. You're one of my favorite people I've met in this 9-year podcast journey.
And you're one of the favorite people that I've met in this 2-year YouTube journey. Yes. Yay. It's not as much, but still something. I mean,
not as much, but yeah,
so,
it's something.
Also, I see.
Reach out.
Yeah, I was about to say, so Dreadful also has plans for you in mind. And trust me, when Dreadful puts out a story, it's worth it. Trust me.
It's an event.
Yes.
It's not a story, it's an event. Coming soon, the one-time event of this summer. Yeah.
It's going to be fun. Don't worry about it. Whatever Dreadful has in store, I can guarantee you'll love it.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
But then with that, ladies and gentlemen, TJ is going to take his leave, and so will I. Any final words on my end? Well, basically a repeat what we have already said before. I have a big project happening in October. The exclusive Discord teaser will be later today. If you want to join movie night, by all means do so. And September will be filled with dark and gothic poetry. Some of the names will include Edgar Allan Poe, Lord Byron, you name it. I have a whole catalogue ready to record and produce. And with that all said, ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is if you want to support the channel, you can do so via the link tree below, which has a direction to Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee, which has been splendidly called Buy Me a Medicine. Or if you're a writer yourself and you have a story you want narrated as well, you can always email me on drtormentnarrations@gmail.com, or as always, you can also lost my train of thought there. Right, you can also submit it to my subreddit as well, which is also Dr. Torment Narrations. With that, ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is have a good day, good evening, and good morning wherever you are. But remember to don't fall asleep ever. And with that, I bid you adieu.